Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. From now on, we will be discussing on HTML and CSS integration. That means we are going to implement a page based on HTML and we will integrate CSS with it. In our previous case, we had a discussion on crash course on HTML. You may check it out. The link is provided in the description box below. Now, in that essence, the first thing that we will be needing is a folder. There will be a root folder inside which all this integration part will be taking place. That is what we can see here. This is the text editor that we are currently using. It's Atom, and here is the root project. HTML CSS integration is the name where we will be carrying on with our project. Now, in the first case, all we need to create an index.html page that will be displayed into the browser. So that is why we need to create an index.html page, and if we right click here, and we can see that here comes a new file. So all we are now doing, we are creating this index.html page, and there it goes. It is an index.html. And in the second case, as we had discussed earlier in the crash course of HTML, we need to insert some tags over here. If you are just a beginner for the present moment, so that is why we will be repeating some of the important features, those needed to know. Now, HTML page, always it starts with an HTML, and you can see that this is an opening bracket, so that is why we will have to close it. Now, this is the characteristic feature of an HTML tag. These tags are very much important in case of declaring an index.html or any kind of HTML page. Browser, it understands these tags and it acts accordingly. So that is why tag is a very important feature. And you can see that we have created a pair of tags. This is known as the opening tag and this is known as the closing tag. The closing tag always ends with a slash in front of it. Now inside we will be now creating a head tag. This is another important feature. An HTML page, it typically consists of a head tag and on the other hand a body tag. So anything that is control related is presented within this head tag. For say, if you are linking your page to another page in the future cases, you will see that all those links, all those important sources, all those important JavaScript files or anything that you wish to connect to your main index.html page is practically enlisted within this head tag. And not only this, every kind of meta content or meta description, every kind of declaration or every kind of description about your page, those things practically comes within this head tag. And on the other hand, in the body tag, this is the part where each and every content of your website, it practically resides into this particular part, this body tag, within this body tag. So anything that is related to the content, those will be inserted into this body tag. And anything which is related to links or description or name, these kind of things, all those things should be placed inside this head tag. Now, you might have seen here that every tag that is initiated, those are on the other hand is being enclosed over here. So HTML in this sense, it has a definite opening tag and a definite closing tag. So that is why HTML will be a container tag. That means those kind of tags, those have a definite opening and a definite closing tag. But there are some tags, those have only the opening tag and it doesn't close or it doesn't end like this one. As in this case, if we insert here beard tag, you can see that this beard tag is ended in a different way. So this kind of tag which has a definite opening tag but there's no definite closing tag, those kind of tags are known as empty tag. So there are certain kind of empty tags, those will be in use in these particular cases, such as this beer. There is another case of HR tag which practically declares the horizontal lines into your page, or when you will be using image source or image tag. In that particular case, you will see that these particular type of tags, they have a definite opening, but they do not have a definite closing tag. Now, inside this particular head tag, we will be introducing for the time being as the title tag. So, what does a title tag does actually? Anything written inside this title tag, such as, for say we are writing here as, for the time being, this is the HTML CSS integration folder, and inside we have created that index.html, and you can see that in your browser this is practically a blank page. As we have created a blank page so far, only the title is provided, and you can see that the title is now visible into the upper part, into the upper tab of your browser. This is HTML CSS crash course. It is now practically being visible over here. So anything written within this title tag, that will be visible into this particular upper tab of your browser. Up to this part it is alright. Now let's get back into this body element. Right now what we are going to do here, we are going to some of these basic tags such as this typography part, such as if we place here h2, this is an h2 tag, and beneath it we are creating another h3 tag for say now we can see that we have created two distinct tags, this h2 tag and this h3 tag, and inside we have written something such as in the first case this hello beautiful world, and in the second case how are you these days. I think there should be a question mark. Okay, now save it. All we need to do, we need to save this one. You can save it from here, or you may press Ctrl S in order to save your project. Now let's get back to our project and reload, and you can see that there are two distinct kind of typography is been opened. So you can see that both of them are now aligned into two distinct blocks. So if we get back to our project, we can see that we have used these two different typographs over here. This one is the first text format, which is H2, and this is the second one, H3. As we have used two different tags for these two different lines, and these things are practically block level element, so that is why they are now represented as two different or distinguished lines, and that is why we can see that both of them are now appearing into different paragraphs, into different lines into your browser. Now if we just cut it from here and if we paste it right within this H2 tag, press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and you can see that both of them are now aligned into the same line. Hence it is clear that both these two lines, those are practically been created due to usage of these two different tags here, and reload, you can see that the new line is formed again. Both these tags, those are practically presenting a block level element. So what is this block level element and this inline element? In knowing so, the first thing that we are going to do, we will be now using here a div, there it goes, and a span element. What is this div and what is this span element? That is been used in case of HTML. So this is the thing that we need to know with example, and that is why we will be presenting some kind of example in front of us in order to understand what is this div and what is this span class being used over here.